Hello everyone, Miss Ari here, and I am so excited to be back with another Wellness Wednesday activity. And today what we are going to be doing is a quick 10-minute yoga practice. So yoga is basically a series of stretching movements kind of strung together. And what they can be really helpful with is relieving tension in our bodies, relieving any sort of stress that we might be feeling or pressure on ourselves that we might put. So I have found that yoga is really helpful in those kind of areas, and I hope that you will also find it really helpful for yourselves as well. Please keep in mind that I am not a yoga teacher, but I do take a couple classes every once in a while, just, when I'm feeling stressed, and it really helps me, to be more mindful and to connect my mind with my body and how I might be feeling. And at the end of each, yoga session, I usually feel much more stress-free and able to breathe a little bit easier. So I hope that you will feel those things as well. A couple things that you will want to do before this session starts is you'll want to wear some comfortable clothing. So as you can see, I'm wearing just some leggings and my Boys and Girls Club t-shirt. So feel free to put on any sort of comfortable clothing that you have. Another thing that you could use, if you do have a yoga mat or any sort of mat, stretching mat, if you do any sort of stretching or people in your family do, you can lay that down on a flat surface. You can also use a towel if you don't have a mat. And if you don't have a towel that you want to use for this, you can also just use any sort of flat surface on the ground. If you have grass outside or even cement, we won't be doing anything dangerous or risky, so there shouldn't be any way for you to get hurt or scrape yourselves during this activity. You will not need shoes for this activity, so that is something super cool about yoga, is that your toes can breathe easily. If you want to wear socks, you can, but you do not need to. So go ahead and take a second to either change if you need to put something on more comfortable, grab a mat, a blanket, or a towel, or find an open space. You want to make sure that you have space around you to move your arms out to the sides and to move your legs up and down a little bit, because we will be doing some stretching. So take a second, grab those things, and then we will meet you back to start our yoga session. Hello and welcome back. So now that you have all of your materials, we are going to begin our yoga class. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get into a position on our hands and knees, and we're going to do an exercise called cat and cow. So basically our back muscle is going to start to stretch out, and we're going to do kind of some bending and flexing. So I will do everything along with you guys, and you can watch me for examples. So we're going to go through 3 rounds of cat and cow. So this is the stance that we're going to take. So like I said, we are on our hands and knees, and we have our arms underneath our shoulders. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in when we flex our back down like this, and we're going to breathe out when we arch our back like this. So let's go through 3 rounds. We breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, and we'll do one more. Breathe in, and we'll breathe out. Awesome. So that is typically how a yoga class starts. From here, we're going to go into a position called downward facing dog. And I forgot that I had my slippers on, so I'm going to take those off. So downward facing dog, again, our shoulders are on top of our arms, and we're going to press back on our feet so that we're getting a really good calf stretch. And if you want to pedal your feet out, kind of like your dog is going for a run, you can go like this. You can lean back, pressing your weight more into your hands and shoulders so that you get a really good stretch in your calves. And then you can kind of let that go a little bit. Push back again. And release. And from here, we're going to lower into a plank position so that our body is straight and the pressure is on our hands. And from here, we're going to slowly lower to the ground. Now on the ground, we're going to put our hands next to our shoulders, and we're gonna stretch our back up. This is called the cobra. This is called the cobra. And if you wanna stretch your arms even more up, this is called an upward facing dog. So it's kind of like the reverse of a downward facing dog. Okay, so from here, let's go through that one more time. We're gonna go through our downward dog, stretching out our calf muscles, pedaling our legs, and then we're gonna go through our plank position, down to the ground, and up to our upward facing dog. Amazing. Let's go through downward facing dog, and from here, we're gonna walk to the top of our mat. All right, from the top of our mat, we're gonna bend down to touch our toes. Hang here for a couple seconds. It's a really nice stretch, kind of from the top of our knees at the back of our legs down. We can lift up, halfway lift, and take a look straight ahead of us. This is called the half lift. And then take a full bend back down. You can sway from side to side if that feels good. Really just releasing any tension that you might have in the back of your legs. And then we're gonna take a big breath up and put our hands down to rest at our sides. So that was a quick warm-up, and now what we're gonna do is called a yoga flow. So basically that just means that we're gonna flow through a few different series of stretches at a little bit quicker of a pace, but I will continue to talk us through it, and you can follow along with me the whole way. So to start, we are going to stand at the top of our mat, and we're gonna do a forward bend like we just did, and then we will jump right back into downward dog. So let's start at the top of our mat. We're gonna bend forward, and then we're gonna step back into downward dog. From here, we're going to lift our right leg up and back, and we're gonna step it through our hands and place it facing forward on the mat. And then we're gonna pivot our back leg to face at a 45-degree angle, and we're gonna stand up tall. Hold this for a few seconds, and then we're going to place our hands back down, put our right foot back into downward facing dog, and we are going to do a flow through from our plank position down to the ground, up through our cobra pose, and then we're gonna go back to downward facing dog and repeat that with our left leg. So our left leg lifts up, it comes through in between our hands, facing straight. We rotate our back leg at a 45-degree angle, and we come up to hold this position. This is called Warrior One. From here, our hands go back down on the ground, our left foot joins our right foot down and downward facing dog, and we will do one more flow into plank, down to the ground, up through the cobra pose, and then we can go ahead and take a seat in crisscross applesauce style. So those were a couple yoga flow stretches that you can do as many times as you want. If you'd like to rewind this video and keep repeating it or do it on different days. That was just a quick, warm up, and then quick examples of some yoga flow poses that you can do that involves your legs and your arms. One that I am also going to show you right now is called the pigeon pose, and this is a really great stretch to open up your hip muscles if you're feeling any sort of tightness in your quads, which is these muscles right here. So a pigeon pose is you're going to take one leg, you're going to put it on the ground in the front of you, and the other leg stretches back so that you're stretching this part of your quad right here. And so you can hold this for a few seconds. If it feels good, you can kind of bend over and come back up, bend over again and come back up. And the bending over adds a little bit extra of a pull. So we'll go through and switch sides now. I'm gonna come a little bit closer and face you this way. So again, pigeon pose, you take whichever leg you didn't use before and it kind of goes parallel to the ground. And then your back leg stretches out behind you so that you get that outer quad stretch. And if you want to bend forward here, you can. And then come back up. We'll bend forward one more time. Bend forward and back up. And then you can bring that back leg to meet your front leg in crisscross applesauce. The last thing that we're going to do as part of this yoga stretch is a neck stretch. And something that I've actually found is that often when I am the most stressed, I carry a lot of that in my neck and in my shoulders. Part of that could be because I look at a computer a lot and my cell phone, and especially with all of us at home, not being in class as much, or being in class but actually having to look at a computer screen, we might have what I call tech neck. So technology affecting our necks. So we're gonna do a quick stretch that might help release some of that. So what you'll do is you'll stay in crisscross applesauce. You're gonna put your right hand, you're gonna sit on top of your right hand, and then you're gonna tip your neck away from your right side of your body. So you're gonna tip it to the left, and you should feel a really nice stretch kind of from the end of your shoulders all the way up through your top of your ear. So we'll hold that for a few seconds. And then if you want to get a little bit extra of a stretch, you can tip your head down. And then that stretches a different area of your neck. We'll hold this for a few seconds. And then we'll come up. We'll bring our right hand to the front. We'll switch our left hand. We'll sit on our left hand and then repeat on the left. So we're going to tip our head towards our right, away from our left hand. And we'll feel, again, that nice stretch going from the tip of our shoulder to the tip of our ear. And for a little bit extra stretch, let's tip our head down so that stretch continues towards the back of our neck. We'll hold this for a couple deep breaths. And then we bring our left hand to the middle to join our hand. So those are just a few examples of yoga stretches that you can do. You can do these at any time throughout the day or night, as many times as you'd like. And I do hope that if you've all completed these exercises, you feel a little less pressure in your neck, in your shoulders, in your legs, and that you're feeling a good stretch, and you're feeling less stressed than you were when you started watching this video. So thank you all so much for joining me. I want to just extend thoughts of safety and health to all of you at home, and encourage you to continue watching our videos on our Boys and Girls Club of San Marcos website for new activities and challenges each day that get your, blood flowing and your creative juices going. And if you have any feedback for either myself or any of your other staff, I will include an email address where you can email any questions, thoughts. If you have suggestions for programs for us to do, they can be wellness related for Wednesdays, or related to any of our other themes of sports, art, outside of the box thinking, or fun Fridays. So if you do have suggestions, please feel free to send them to this email right here. And until then, we have all of you in our thoughts, and we'll continue to think happy and positive wishes for everyone's safety and health. And we will see you all soon. Take care.